I'm only going to dress this one time. Since y'all want to be on the front line. Hey, yo, Remy, don't you love me? See, right there, that's the front line.
Breaking news. Eazy the Block and Remy Ma's feud. You need to pay attention to this because the captain is finally losing it, and things are going to get nasty. Rumor has it that the most recent trauma event was affliction. If that wasn't enough, Captain has been raving to anybody who will listen about Remy Ma and Eazy the Block, claiming that Remy still harbors affections for Papoose. Sources claim that after he openly questioned her allegiance, the two got into a furious altercation in the car. According to reports, he is upset with Remy for introducing him to Papoose's new girlfriend. According to the latest reports, the dispute wasn't unique. Blowout. In case you missed this incredible moment, let me tell you, Remy played him. After weeks of accumulation, it is now reaching a boiling point. You read properly, yes. For several months, she remained fixated on Papoose and his new relationship, allegedly using Eazy as a rebound. Following the revelation that Remy Ma had cheated on Papoose with an easygoing underground rapper, rumors of Remy and Papoose's divorce initially arose in late 2023. Remy Ma has been in the news all the time since. Captain Papoose made things worse by publicly announcing their split after sharing a Father's Day picture with his kid. Following their breakup, Remy and Eazy started going out together, and when Remy suddenly stopped going, everyone knew their marriage was over. Things took a turn for the worst after a brawl with rapper G Gotti. Remy was spotted helping out behind the scenes, but when G Gotti disclosed the real cause of Remy and Eazy's close relationship, he didn't hold back and attacked everything, even her turbulent relationship with Eazy. Will there be more chaos in store, or will Remy and Eazy's brief affair with the Block captain come to an end? This drama is far from over, so stay tuned.
It's found out you was getting help. That could really ruin your We're talking rocking with Sam, Happy Reed, and that's us. Y'all
When Gotti accused Remy Ma of cheating on Papoose, the same man who had been faithful to her for years and supported her during her incarceration, did she hold back?
Grace will tell the world how you think this woman the greatest.
The fact that Papoose didn't even deny these accusations of infidelity is even more astonishing. Instead, it appeared as though he accepted them, admitting that Remy wasn't as faithful as everyone thought. Gotti doubled back on it after dropping the bombshell, and this is what he said.
Found out you was getting help. That could really ruin your image. Talking rocking with Sam, Happy Reed.
It's no secret that Remy's reputation took a serious hit after the allegations of her adultery started to spread. Given our knowledge of Remy, we all anticipated that she would strongly refute the charges. But this is when things go wrong. She decided to keep quiet rather than face the problem. But it turns out that Remy wasn't just messing about with the Block. Silence doesn't mean weakness. Even though Eazy made headlines, there is another player that doesn't want to be seen with Remy in public. The bad news is that the identity was quickly disclosed. She was in a polyamorous relationship, according to multiple stories from different media agencies. The narrative intensifies as she is criticized for her tense relationship, doesn't it? Another underground rapper was spotted wearing matching watches and holding hands. When Remy initially tried to deny this link, guess what happened? The truth poured out when it was confirmed by several media sites. A few weeks ago, Remy shocked the world by revealing that she had supposedly started seeing someone else, Clarissa Shields, just when you thought it couldn't get any more scandalous. A screenshot of Papa with his new girlfriend was even posted by boxing champion Remy, who included a negative caption. Papoose fell asleep while chatting on the phone with Clarissa Shields when he was resting at my place, and he refused to go. The relationship between Remy and Clarissa Shields fell into total disarray following her shocking admission. The two women didn't mince words, arguing angrily with Clarissa and even threatening to attack Remy if they saw each other again. When she heard my voice, this girl, who is supposedly a boxing world champion, hung up. I'll tell you everything now, and you're not alone. When Remy chastised Papoose for starting a new relationship, many of his followers were shocked since, let's not ignore Remy's persistently hostile demeanor suggests that she hasn't moved on from Papoose. As if this story couldn't get any more amazing, she cheated on him first. She can't bear it when he finds peace with someone else. After all the turmoil with Clarissa, she is enraged that he moved on with someone else, and it's clear that she doesn't want to see him happy. Remy comes at a public event a few minutes into the play. The audience's response to Waz's performance was astounding. Throughout the Block Captain's rap battle, the crowd have started to cheer him on, but what happened next left everyone in shock.
I'm only going to press this one time. Since y'all want to be on the front line. Hey, yo, Remy, don't you love me? See, right there, that's
Within hours of the video's release, it went viral, and fans swiftly criticized Remy for what they saw as her instigating trouble for Papoose, despite the fact that she was still chatting about Messy with Eazy the Block Captain. Though she wasn't ready for the backlash, Remy decided to answer yes, swiftly to avoid adding to the drama when the question was asked, but insiders are now revealing that things weren't as they looked. The truth is now out. Eazy put her in a precarious position by neglecting to alert her to the impending bombshell, and as a result, the relationship between Remy and a source said that Eazy and a furious dispute erupted. Eazy feels like he's being taken advantage of since Remy isn't treating him with the respect he deserves, and she has been on a warpath ever since she reprimanded Papoose for dating someone else. But since moving on to Remy while she was at peace with Papoose was treachery, and betrayal always has repercussions. This is where karma might be at play. Some may say that this is Eazy's karma coming full circle, and he is currently facing the pain of that choice. The whole incident is being discussed by fans, and many are horrified to learn that Remy may have cheated on Papoose after. I will reiterate what I have said before. Remy is the perfect example of why some people believe that dating a lady from New York is not a good idea. After all the years of support and commitment, many are blaming her for everything he did for her, claiming that she could have treated him better. Remy has died more tragically than anyone else that comes to mind, and she will continue to die during this perimenopausal and midlife crisis. In retrospect, she will see that this was the worst decision she has ever made. Someone like 50 Cent, who fought his way to popularity with unyielding drive, has a personal tale that is just as dramatic as his ascent to prominence. Family is a difficult thing. Few people are aware of the turmoil and heartache that underlie his personal life, despite the fact that he is widely recognized as a rap icon. Did she use Eazy the Block Captain as a rebound to move on from Papoose, or do you really feel something for him? We have witnessed the mayhem, but what is the true cause of it all? Kindly leave your remarks in the space provided below. 50 Cent's tale is more complex than it first appears. When his then-girlfriend Sheena Tompkins gave birth to Marquise in 1996, 50 Cent, real name Curtis Jackson, became apparent. Everything appeared to be going smoothly at the time, but the family bond deteriorated along with their tumultuous relationship. There was already tension between 50 and his oldest son, Mares Jackson. While balancing complicated connections from his past, he has simultaneously given his younger son, Sire, all of his love and attention. The Marquis adored their father as a child and viewed him as a superhero, someone who was bigger than life. But as he grew older, that admiration gave way to disappointment, and by the time they got to the legal end of things in 2008, their relationship as father and son was barely surviving because of 50 arguments with Tompkins and tumultuous court cases that made communication a process mediated by a lawyer who lived far away. The final straw occurred in 2008 when Mares was spotted in a photo with Griff, Kenneth Supreme's son. 50 Cent was deeply hurt by this treachery, and in response, he posted a scathing social media statement stating that he wouldn't care if Mares and McGriff's son were struck by a bus. Family members claimed that Mares regularly stirred the pot by deliberately doing things to annoy his father, which was a blunt statement that illustrated how strained their relationship had become. He would post stuff online that annoyed him or hang around with people he didn't like. With neither side willing to give up, it turned into a perverted game about hatred but rather sadness, stating that he thought his son was not treating him with any respect despite the fact that he had given Mares far more money than he had ever had as a child. By promising $6,700, the same amount 50 had paid in child support each month. For only one day of his father's time in 2022, Mars attempted to publicly draw his father's notice. 50 rejected the offer, saying that a sincere attempt to make amends wouldn't entail social media, despite Maris's claims that it wasn't about money and that all he wanted was to spend time with his father. Maris later revealed that he had tried to get in touch privately, but had failed because he was buried on social media and did not have his father's phone number. Maris is determined to establish himself, so he enters the music business, drops tunes, and tries to build a career apart from his father's shadow despite the agony. On the other hand, 50 Cent's bond with his younger son Sire seems to be stronger, but it is also influenced by the challenges he has encountered throughout the highs and lows of his family's history. One of love, treachery, and the challenges that make managing family connections so challenging. It serves as a reminder that even the most prosperous individuals may have underlying family problems that hide layers of happiness, sorrow, and strife. 50 Cent's experience as a father and a son is not an anomaly. He and Daphne Joy welcomed their second son, Sire, in September 2012. Despite their tumultuous relationship, he'd appeared to have a closer bond with his oldest son, Maris. Daphne made a social media post in March 2024, claiming that 50 had mistreated her, that she was devastated, and that she had lost all faith in him as a father. Despite 50 Cent's denials, the public charges intensified their already complicated relationship. At this time, there were rumors that 50 was relocating to obtain sole custody of Sire, and Daphne was being accused of engaging in adult employment, which she strongly denied. Courtrooms were no longer the only places where the drama appeared. Headlines now highlighted it. Their argument had already garnered media attention. In 2013, 50 was charged with domestic abuse following in. Even so, he never wavers in his commitment to his legacy, particularly with regard to Sir. He made it clear in a recent interview that his youngest son would inherit all of his riches, stressing that whatever he has created will be for Sir to carry. He was accused of kicking Daphne and causing damage to her property after their disagreement got out of hand. He pleaded guilty to petty vandalism, avoiding heavier penalties, but the event resulted in 3 years of probation and community service. McGriff is more than just a moniker to people who know 50's past. He's associated with a troubled period of the rapper's life. Seeing his son with the child of someone so closely associated with the 2000 shooting that almost killed 50 was a breaking point for McGriff, who was reportedly involved in the incident. While admirers persisted in applauding his devotion to Sire, many were left wondering what would become of his firstborn child, Mars. One of the most heated incidents in the ongoing saga about the friction between 50 and Mars happened in 2018 when Mars shared a photo of his son with Kenneth Supreme McGriff's son. Had become as fans questioned whether there was any potential for mending, as 50 Cent's laser-like focus on building a future for Sire loomed in the backdrop. Beneath the headlines and platinum albums is the tale of a man who has been influenced by both success and tragedy. A youngster reared by a single mother who bravely battled to provide him with a better existence. Curtis Jackson was more than just a product of Queens, New York. His existence revolved around his mother, Sabrina Jackson, a hustler who was willing to go to any lengths to support her kid, including when Curtis was just 8 years old in 1983. Her life on the streets was brutally cut short. His mother was drugged, rendered unconscious, and had her flat set on fire in what police believed to be a homicide. 50 Cent's life was permanently impacted by the unanswered mystery surrounding her murder. Despite living in a violent neighborhood in South Jamaica, Queens, she was renowned for her courage and fortitude, achieving strides in a world that wasn't kind to women like her. It was a pivotal moment in Curtis's life that drove his drive, ambition, and unrelenting drive for success. But it also left scars that helped to build the complex man we know today, a parent trying to strike a balance between the hurt of unresolved relationships and his legacy. 50 Cent's life has always revolved around his family, but it hasn't been without its share of hardships and hardages. 50 Cent has discussed in interviews how the loss of his mother, Sabrina Jackson, when he was only 8 years old, left a scar that never fully went away. He remembers how her passing influenced him, recollecting the details of her untimely disappearance and stating that someone placed something in her. Beyond simply being his mother, Sabrina was a strong, practical lady who ensured her son was ready for the challenging world he would face. 50 recalls her as being firm but nurturing, constantly motivating him to get back up and keep going. Her advice to get up, "What are you crying for?" stayed with him and influenced how he handled life's obstacles as a youngster and subsequently as a well-known celebrity. Even as an adult, he understands that life can be unpredictable and that she took away the one person who meant the world to him. Found himself in South Jamaica, Queens, under the care of his grandmother. He began working, distributing drugs, and learning how to live on the streets at the age of 12, a road he didn't want to follow but felt forced to pursue in order to survive. 50 Cent has never held back when talking about those years. His songs and interviews clearly portray a time of fights, arrests, and dangerous decisions, but his grandma was his pillar of support and the one constant in a tumultuous life. He accentuates the stark contrast by recalling that I was my grandmother's baby. Because of his rough exterior on the streets and the fact that he had to get permission to walk home from school, living with his grandma wasn't always easy. Due to his aunt Sylvia's resentment of Curtis replacing her in the family, tensions were high. Despite this, 50 Cent had a close relationship with his grandmother and often thought she recognized his mother's features in his. He felt the weight of this unsaved connection every day, but it also deepened her love. Years later, the loss of his grandma was more agonizing than anything 50 had ever experienced. He remembers being summoned to the hospital, where his whole family had assembled. Despite her weakness, her eyes brightened as he spoke to her, and he saw her heart rate decrease after their brief encounter. Even as he dealt with the constant tragedies of losing friends and loved ones to drugs, violence, and accidents, he had to cope with the death of his aunt, who turned to him and said, "She was waiting for you." In August 2024, 50 experienced yet another devastating loss as he recalled his grandfather's sacrifices on Instagram with a poignant post. Although 50 Cent's family is still crucial to him, his relationships haven't always been straightforward. His connection with Daphne Joy, the mother of his youngest son, Sire, serves as one illustration. Public accusations and court disputes have characterized their tumultuous relationship. In a now-deleted Instagram post from May 2023, model and actress Daffy accused 50 Cent of mistreating her, sparking a public outcry. 50 Cent responded by bringing a slander complaint, alleging, 50 Cent navigates a legacy full of love, grief, and endless obstacles while remaining focused on his family in spite of the upheaval. 50 Cent has always stated a tremendous desire to be there in the tumultuous relationship between his parents, and Sire has often found himself in the center of it. 50 Cent's relationship was already tense, and Daphne's claims that she felt abused and manipulated only made things worse because he was trying to maintain his relationship with his kid. In September 2023, 50 Cent chose to abandon the lawsuit despite the intense back and forth, but he was free to resubmit if needed. Although it's unclear if this was done as part of a bigger plan or to defuse the issue, it appeared that he wanted to temporarily remove himself from the legal drama. His litigation against Daphne Joy has been hampered by his conflicts with her. He asserted that her charges were an effort to distance him from his father in addition to damaging his reputation. Another unresolved issue is 50 Cent's protracted conflict with Sheena Tompkins, the mother of his eldest son, Mayers, which has been a poisonous tale for over 2 decades. Since the late 1990s, their relationship has deteriorated into a vicious cycle of lawsuits, public insults, and incessant social media taunts. When 50 Cent accused Shaniqua of squandering money from his first international tour for cosmetic surgery instead of real estate in January 2019, the feud was reignited. Sheena didn't mince words and gave a scathing retort that only served to exacerbate their already tense relationship. Long after they split up, the custody battle over their kid lasted until 2008, by which point their relationship had turned into a public struggle. Financial agreements also became a source of conflict. 50 Cent revealed that Shaniqua had been receiving $40,000 per month, or almost $500,000 annually, for Maris's care. Nevertheless, Shaniqua was not satisfied and asked for more. Frustrated, 50 Cent filed a lawsuit, and the monthly sum was reduced to $6,700. However, the controversy didn't stop there because Sheena reportedly worked with. The public spectacle his parents have created out of their arguments is nothing new to their son Maris, who has attempted to carve out his own way despite being caught in the crossfire. He has clearly been impacted by the poisonous relationship, and although he has made an effort to forge his own identity away from the shadow of his parents' conflict, 50 Cent was not happy and reacted angrily on Instagram, urging her to find a legitimate job. Sheena clapped back, saying he was resentful and that he was afraid she would reveal who he really was. Neither side was prepared to compromise as the conflict grew more intense. In addition to these family problems, the public has been fascinated by 50 Cent's private life. Fans initially became aware of his romance with Cuban Link, whose real name is Jamir Haynes, when the notoriously private rapper dated her at the Power Season 6 premiere. Their chemistry struck them right away, and it seemed like the relationship was off to a terrific start. Above.